So now that we went through keyings, animation, I think it's only fair to talk about tracking. Because, and we have all these tracking markers here. And what else we're going to do with them? So let's hit Control and Space and type in tracker. Let's plug it into our footage. And here it is. Now, you're going to try to click and drag this. It's not going to do anything. You got to click this little corner here. And then you got to click down over here. So let's line it. Oh, that jumped on me. So we got to line up over there. And now we're going to get our attention to this right here. And right now we're going to track something that's based on luminance. And that's what we're doing. So we could base upon the green channel, the red channel, or the non-existent blue channel. And so we have these options, and this is where you choose how you're going to tell it to look at it. Look at the subject we're going to track. We also can do offset tracking controls. Now, these controls are a little bit different, so we're currently stop tracking. And we can choose to track from forward frame, or we could just track forward. Let's try what that does. It jumps all the way to the back and tries to go from the beginning. A very different approach than pretty much what everything will try to do. And it tells us our render is complete. And let's just watch what it... And look, it gave us a pretty good track. Way better than After Effects. Let's undo that. And let's just see what happens when we track from frame forward. And, well, that went really fast. And that means we have to go all the way back to this point. Or we can do something like that, because this is all moving the tracking interest area to where we need it. It's just tracked pretty well. Reverse, and it's done. It kind of didn't like us there. And let's go back and do that again. Let's track forward. Track back from that point. There we go. And you can see right here, we have all these keyframes baked into the timeline. And it's also in the spline editor as well. So you say, well, that's great. What am I going to do with this now? Well, we can, depending on how we insert our footage, we can do corner positioning. We could do match move. See, as soon as I did corner positioning, it created 4 other ones. And we'll just have to delete that again. We could use the tracker's own match move to stabilize and apply things on it. Or we can take a transform node. Let's see, let's make a background. Let's make it a beautiful gradient again. This absolutely gorgeous. Let's just... So, we need to use some red there. We need some green there. We need some blue there. And we need a rainbow mix of it all right here. And we're going to take that background and we're going to attach it to a tracker. Let's delete that and a track. If I say tracker, I meant a transform. It's been one of those days. Input. So now we got this transform here. Let's go to connect to tracker 1 and unsteady position. Tracker. Let's do connect to. So we're going to right click here. We're going to connect to tracker path and position. And now our beautiful gradient is going to float right on top of, let's apply transform before. There we go. It's going to stick right to that tracker right there. So we're going to get into part 2 of tracking, and this is going to get into tracking things that are a little bit more difficult. Learning how to do segment tracking, and because when you first look at the interface, you can tend to understand that it's maybe like all or nothing. You have to address the entire timeline, and it's really, just once you know what's it about and how you get into it, it's a really quite a powerful tracker. So let's just pull up our tracker. And just put that up there. So we got a tracker. We're going to grab this little point up here again. We're going to drag it over this little black dot. This is tracking for something like having a little word bubble, text going on like you see in TV show. So I'm going to take this. And so without doing anything, we're going to track the entire timeline. And if we adjust our render range, which is this is what this is. Let's go back. Let's see here. Drop here. That should be fine. Let's drag the end, and let's remember 208. And so it's gonna get tricky right about there. So let's just go all the way up till there. And it's a little tricky because there's a motion blur into this frame. I think it'll handle it. The render's complete. Let's supervise it. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. One thing is, interfaces like this, like also with Nuke, what's drawn on the screen is rendered much faster than what's below it. So if it's not cached in RAM, it may seem like it's a little off. Just make sure it's cached in RAM. And yeah, that's very nice. Just watch it through. And as we watch it, we can notice that we created frames through the entire render range here. Very nice. So let's just lock that. Should kind of see how well that did there. That went off. So let's use our bracket keys here. Okay, right there. And we're gonna go to our timeline. delete those keys. And we're just going to do some manual animation. And it doesn't sound fun, but this is what the job requires a lot. Yeah, it's fun when you get good at it, as everything is. I'm not to sugarcoat it. So, see here we can my mouse over. We have our little keyframes. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go because right now it's displacement, which it's ridiculous because we have a keyframe on every frame, so we can't really adjust for velocity between keyframes. I mean, it does us no good. So we're going to go to polyline, convert to XY, convert, and now we have a XY path, which is way more useful. So we're going to take a look down here. We're just gonna say okay. And you can look how the velocity is going through your. You'll see, like, if you did some right, it's gonna look like the curve there. So. You see, our keyframes are creating a kind of a decay there in motion, which is good. Just put it out there. See how we do. All right, so let's take this, track forward. Let's see here. Looks like it didn't grab at all. Let's try that again. Alright, very good. I probably didn't set this little icon up good before. Actually, I'm more than certain that I was looking at this and I didn't grab that. Alright, so yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I didn't grab it. I'm sorry. So let's take it and good, good. Expand this out a little bit more. Yeah. Make sure we adjust this. Oh, great. Look at that. Look at that nice tracking path. So grab this. So now we can see we've tracked a couple hundred frames pretty easily. I mean, this wasn't hard. That's a long range to track something. Let's track something that has that spot on. So we can just watch it go. Wow, look at that. There goes, see the animation there. And there we go. Ooh, they go through a loop-de-loop. And we still gotta go way over here. See, it's still look how easy it was to track something that long. Alright, so this has been the part 2 of the tracking class, more advanced tracking. And let's see what you can do.